crazy thing is we're like a week in to exclusively working on getting the blower motor, heater, doors and stuff system, and the lights.
Kim's been working on
a week of it.
Kim's been working on the stuff in the dash and the blower motor and all that. And I've been working on the lights, and I'm almost there. And I'm going to tell you, I bought 4 new side marker lights, 2 red and 2 amber, from Mexican Spec. And they're on their way up here. Because he has all these lenses and lights and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
So we'll have new side marker lights.
Brand new
side marker lights are all bent.
Brand new repops.
They're all bent and crushed, and they're
yeah,
terrible.
this one back here is a really good example of bad, real bad.
And if you look at what here, let me show what happens to those. If I can get there, I'm trying to get around the heater and the electrical cords.
Yeah, they were like taped in and glued on and drywall screwed together. It looks really ratty like that.
I thought I had them here.
We're getting.
Oh, here they are.
Here we go.
Okay. This is the side marker light. There's a light that goes in here. And this is a plastic stud that sticks through there, some kind of a funny little nut that goes on there. But this is what happens. Those studs break off. And then somebody tapes them in place, which is just bad.
So I had to remove the hazard switch from the column because it was filled with goop, which is now gone. But it's a fancy little thing. These little contacts were pretty fouled up. There's a lot happening there. And you might think, well, that's just the hazard lights. But see, everything runs through there. Watch what happens when I use... This brush is conductive, so when I rub the brush through here, watch what happens on the dash. See, everything runs through the hazard lights. So if that little switch is fouled up, nothing works right, and that will explain our turn signal failure. So this thing can be replaced. The whole thing, the turn signal switchy thing, can be replaced. And I mean, this is starting to get brittle, but I think I got it. There's clips and little rivets. Let's see, tiny little rivets to drill out to get this apart. So it is not an easy thing. But if I can put this back together, I might just be able to, instead of using little rivets, use little zip ties. Maybe they'll fit through these holes. Yeah, I think they will. So we're going to need to get a blinker that is LED compatible, because the standard blinker is not so much. But we're learning. We're learning stuff. We didn't know all this. Yeah, just clean stuff out. A little brass wire brush or some sandpaper. Take your time, and maybe, oh man, maybe you'll just lose everything down in the floorboards. So these seats are not from our vehicle, and this bracket with these seatbelt clamps that we don't need. So the whole thing comes down to all the measurements that we took were from the driver's side, and the driver's side of a Mopar is bigger than the passenger side, so we had to make a little clearance there. Alright, Buff Del Campo's mad because every time I try and do anything I have to drag out every tool in the entire shop. How do we replace the license?
See, I've got a little bucket, upside down bucket to sit on back here. This is where I started tonight. And that was like 2 or 3 hours ago. Well, John Wilburn was only about an hour into his live when I came up here.
Oh.
And I was listening to him while I was trying to find tools.
You got to remove the license plate so that you can remove the license plate bracket, so you can remove the...
Light? Is that what it takes? Okay, I hadn't gotten that far. All I knew was I couldn't even find the I couldn't find the socket for the license plate. So I started putting stuff
I know
away.
where the socket for the license plate is.
Yeah, I do too. It's in the socket drawer.
Okay.
Because I put it on the socket drawer. Everything's, all those sockets.
Perfect.
You had 6 ratchets on the floor of that Valiant.
Every time I needed one, I got
You just
another.
got another ratchet, and then I needed a ratchet and couldn't find any. Okay, there's 2 bolts behind the license plate. Took them out. And take this thing out. And then I can get at those screws and take it apart. I think that'll work.
Must be going good, because I didn't even hear you swearing. What's the prognosis with that light that you were working on?
Oh, I have to get a bulb. And I don't know, when I first started, everything was incandescent. Somewhere along the line, the LEDs became available. They're really expensive, and you had to kind of look for them. But now, everything's LED. They're cheap, and incandescent's kind of hard to find. So it'll probably be LED. This doesn't flash. It doesn't, no funny business. It should work, I hope, without a resistor. So the license plate light will be just, I need to buy a light bulb, that's all.
Ow.
Ow. Poke yourself with an Allen wrench.
No,
You took the knob off this.
the knob. The radio knobs are off.
Yeah, you were moving the radio around, and
There.
because you're reaching around behind and trying to do something.
This is the most frustrating piece of garbage that I've worked on all day.
Look at the camera when you're talking. I can see the back of your head.
You get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're not careful. Alright, let's see.
Oh, you're gonna try to move that, and hopefully it doesn't break.
Oh, I can't get it up. How does it come out?
Probably the same way, backwards from the way they put it in. It's, you know, when they're building this car, there's probably like some kind of conveyor belt with that thing coming along, and they build the car. They build the car around it.
A-bodies are not usually very difficult to get things like this apart. I just cannot.
Because you're taking out the first thing they started with.
Heads or tails. Yeah, it comes down to the assembly line. First,
Yeah.
there's a...
That fake wood panel's coming down the assembly line, and they attach everything to it. At the end, there's a car. Now you're trying to take the first thing out.
And it's an AC car, so it's impossible to get under your head under there to see what the hell's going on. And it's an A-body, so everything under here is razor sharp. Razor sharp!
Does the dashboard come out of these, or is it welded part of the unibody? We're going to take the dash out. I was just asking the question. I think
you have to take the windshield. It comes off.
Oh, that pad's a piece of junk. That pad, I got plans for that pad.
While I'm under here, I can take it off.
No, I'm not going to do it. No, I got too many projects going on this car right now that are started, and I don't want to start more projects. No, because then pretty soon the car looks like my Studebaker looks like. It's completely apart. And then you're mad at me for taking it completely apart.
Well, I am mad at you. Always mad at you. Why are you always making me so mad?
Maybe you can shrink yourself down and go in there.
That would be so useful right now. If I could go in there and, you know what? You just made me think. I need a mirror.
I always wanted to have an eye on the end of my finger.
Yeah.
And then on the other finger, adjacent finger, have a light.
This is that thing that you buy. You buy it at the store because someday you'll need it, but then it just sits in the toolbox and you never use it. But
for the elephant dentist. Yeah. Okay, emergency flash is working, but really, we're gonna look to see what Kim's done over here. She pulled out that thing. That's the vacuum controls.
There's some electrical stuff.
And electrical controls. But it's kind of interesting how the vacuum thing looks. Okay, so you got that out.
So them are the buttons.
The buttons. Okay. I'm looking through the radio hole. Kim pulled the radio out and pulled all this stuff out so she get access, and that is the one of the vacuum.
Oh wait, you want to see something cool?
Vacuum actuators, whatever you call that thing.
You want to see something really cool? If I hook this line up here, and you hold this, and I'll hold the camera.
Okay, do it. It's focused right now.
Oh, did you see it move?
I can't. Here, we're gonna have to do what you suggested.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, pump. Okay, and it worked. And now when I pull this off,
oh yeah, we had 17 inches.
back down.
That's 17 inches of vacuum.
And then if I hook it onto this one,
Different one.
hold on a second, I gotta make room so you can see. Go ahead. All right, there you go. That's a vacuum actuating thingamajigger doing the thing
that was only about
actuating. Okay, so how we did this is a brake bleeder vacuum pump thing. So you pump and it will slowly build some vacuum. And we used a hose, and then this is like the wiring harness. And instead of plugging in...
It's not a wiring harness.
It's a vacuum harness. But instead of doing vacuum or wiring, it's vacuum. So you just plug a little joiner into there, and then you can try and actuate the different parts of the controls. Just for
Pretty
testing.
good.
Yep. Brought to you by CRC Power Lube.
What'd you use that for?
On the little grommets to make them so when they move back and forth, they're not all clogged and up, and like this one here.
Okay.
I'm gonna power lube that one. Right
Oh.
there.
Okay.
That's where it goes.
All right. Power lube is something like WD-40, but it has, has a little more lube and a little less water displacement.
Smells sweet, like candy. I brought you new stuff. Nearly new.
Nearly new.
New old stock.
There was a place where I grew up. It's called Nearly New Furniture. Well, this is nearly new dashboards, and they're not very good. I've got to redo this now. And you brought me the top.
You do not know how many sliced knuckles, and look at my hands.
5. It's just 5 nuts.
Well, there's 2 on the under
6,
ends.
7. So there are 5
You
fasteners.
have to basically blindly jam your knuckles up into the bottom ends of sharp metal and screws.
Impossible to get at.
Yes.
I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm gonna make something really cool.
Okay. So
we gotta wait till a warm day or do it in the house. I have to take all my fiberglass stuff to the house.
you're gonna make a fiberglass dashboard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we got.
But it's not gonna be. It's not gonna look like a boat or something. It's gonna be nice stuff.
Okay.
And then we could cover it with something nice.
Well, I've been working on the dashboard for my 66, and it's starting to look pretty neat, huh?
This is very similar, isn't it?
Oh, it's the same kind of. It's the same deal. It's just.
Yeah, it might even be the same piece. But I know what I want to do.
They don't. The part numbers don't interchange, and like they make repops of those.
Oh.
You know how much replacement ones of those are?
I don't know.
Factory type?
I don't know.
They're like over $400.
Oh, good. I can do it for. I can do what I want. I talked to you a little about what I want, so I don't want to say, because if it doesn't work out, then I don't look like an idiot. But
and I had to take this back out again, so we're gonna get new light bulbs for it. And these sockets,
all these new sockets in here, and they're not quite right.
they're wrong. They don't look how loose they are in there.
They're the wrong size.
Yeah, they don't grab.
They sort of fit.
Yeah, they sort of fit, which is a recipe for disaster.
Okay, and you're saying we cannot put power to the car now?
No, I can make it safe in a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, because I want to check that the backup lights that I've just redone.
I don't know. Maybe we could just. You think we could put some like what is that stuff that you put on vinyl to restore it? It's that stuff they spray on tires to make them real black.
Yeah, we'll put tire black on it.
Vinyl. What's the vinyl cleaner
some-
that you use?
Bondo and tire black.
I mean, that's ugly. It looks really bad. It really brings down the quality of the interior. Makes it feel good. We got the heat going. Oh, it feels so good by the heat. But that's, look how pretty this dashboard was.
Let me see what it looks like without that.
I'm really against green cars, but that was a really pretty green at one time.
Oh, you got it all apart.
Yeah, I took the whole damn thing apart.
What is this? What was this?
Yeah, a million screws. I figured out why. So I figured out why. Okay, this is kind of funny if you can follow me. Okay, this is kind of funny. We were trying to get the heater controls to work. So I was putting vacuum. I hooked the vacuum gauge up to this. So that we could, have vacuum and then heater control. I plugged off all these heater control lines. We were trying to get the blend doors to open. Well, it turns out that this goes up to the windshield sprayer things, which I knew that at one time, but I sort of lost my brains. So this goes to that. And then this, I was trying to figure out, well, I thought this was the vacuum for the under dash heater controls, but this is actually the vacuum for the under dash. Check this thing out. I think we showed you once, but I'm going to show you again. I think it's deserving. Is this chumpy up here. Check it out. It goes to the manual windshield washer pisser pump. So I was trying to apply vacuum to that, and it wasn't working on the heater blend doors. But now that I have everything out of here, I can reverse engineer how it all goes. And one of these hoses that goes out over by the other side of the car. Yeah, that's the problem with reverse engineering, is you gotta take it all apart to figure it out sometimes. I had to swallow the spider to catch the fly. One of them will turn that on and off. The other one goes to your carburetor for some vacuum. So it's one of those. That's going to give us the vacuum for the blend doors. Not one of those. One of those. Which makes perfect sense in hindsight. But some days I'm not too bright. What's this here?
This is a license plate light.
Oh, it lights. LED, license plate
LED,
light.
and it's not anywhere near as bright as the backup lights, but it's the same shaped socket.
Oh,
this is a
okay.
replacement for a number 67 bulb, which originally was 8 watts.
8 watts.
And backup lights are LEDs. They're go in the same size socket, but they're meant for backup lights, and they are, I think they were 35 watts, or maybe 25 watts. I don't remember. But they're very bright, and this is less bright. So anyway, we got new ones coming.
Well, why is there red and orange? Is it supposed to be orange, or is it supposed to be red?
Red in the back, amber up front.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just like a tail light and a marker light.
I didn't realize that the side markers were supposed to be red in the back. That makes sense that there's some kind of system. I guess I shouldn't even be driving a vehicle without knowing that that's how it is.
See, notice trailers, like semi-trailers and other trailers that have, what do you call those lights on the clearance lights?
Clearance lights, yeah.
They're all amber except the very back ones are red. And then you can see which direction the trailer's going, or supposed to be going.
But when this is done, going down the road at night, it is going to be as safe as anything else that's on the road.
Oh, this thing, when we got it, the lights weren't working and some of them were dim or didn't flash, all that kind of stuff. New flashers that are made for LEDs, all LED lights. I already put them together. The inside, the reflectors, the part of the bezel, whatever you call it, the thing that the light goes in, I paint those white inside because white will really reflect a lot of light. And so between the LED lights and the white in there and the wiring working and grounds all working, man, these things are bright. They flash right. they just look like a new car. So one of the gripes I have about old cars is seeing a nice old car and then you see the taillights and turn signals that are dim or they don't work right. These are top notch.
Nice, bright, fresh lights really dress up an old car. And I know it needs paint. Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But you can drive it with ugly paint. You took it all apart, ground it down, used the headlight restoration trick, and then now it's all back together.
Here's where this plugs into, but I've got to put all the parts are in here. I got to put it together. So I'm
little at a time.
So I have to assemble it and put the license plate on, and then we'll have a license. Oh, and you see this. This is the lens for the license plate light, and you see the incandescent light. It actually melted this original Chrysler part, Pentastar, in there. I'm going to mount it upside down so maybe that's how that was. Maybe the heat went up. I don't know. I'm going to make it so the good side's down so that it works nicely. LED won't get hot.
LEDs do kind of get hot, but not nearly as hot as incandescent.
Incandescent light's a heater. Remember those?
A heater that also makes...
I remember when I was a little kid, there was a toy for little girls. It was supposed to be for little girls. It was a cardboard oven that had a incandescent light in it, like a 100-watt light bulb or something. And they could actually cook food in there with the...
That's an easy bake oven.
And you could do a cupcake, or you could cook food with a light bulb. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It'll get hot. It'll burn the snot out of your hand.
Oh, and it was cardboard. That's a safe toy. I bet they don't have those anymore. Okay. What you gonna say?
So I'm just stripping this dash pad down. First thing I did was used a Sawzall to just swamp, and then now I'm just using a scraper, and I'm using my knuckles as a cheese shredder on here to anyways, it's a goopy mess. This old foam is like really nasty, but it still sticks horrifically well, but the vinyl's all brittle, and I might leave this on the corner for the form, but all the rest of it's gonna need to be
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe leave that on. Yeah, maybe leave that on there. I don't know.
It's harder than you think to make that shape. I don't know, but
yep. Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Well,
it's
I'm gonna
a pile
make
of trash.
Some of it's gonna be a new shape. Okay.